Hello everyone, Pierce Nation here. Welcome back to a new video. I know it's been a little while. I've been playing in regional tournaments and doing locals and everything all at once, so I haven't really had much time to really upload videos. But we're back today. I'm going to show you my Kashtira deck and really go over my choices and stuff. Try to make the video less than 15 minutes, like I always do. Now, playing a deck like this takes a lot of thought process, obviously, because Kashtira is one of the best decks out right now. And I'll go over everything with you, the side deck, the main deck, and the extra deck, really get you filled in on it. But without further ado, we'll go ahead and get started so we can try to dip this in the butt, and we'll talk at the end if we can. He's out of here. Over the main deck. If well, again, we'll talk after. So, starting off, play 3 copies of Fenrir. That's not optional. Like, you must play 3. Um, and second of all, playing the best card in the deck. You're playing 3 copies of Kashtira Unicorn. Searches a spell. Obviously, he's the best card in the deck. He also snipes extra deck monsters, which is the best one. Next of all is the next one of the best, which can also get you out of jams, is Kashtira Riseheart. Pretty self-explanatory with this guy. You play him with 3, like you don't play any less. So. Then next is your one-of, so you play the 1 Kashtira Ogre, obviously to get prep. You play Kashtira Tilament. Kind of obvious, you know, you play a bunch of one-ofs. This is just for like win more. I do this most of the time on my opponent's turn. Then like on end phase, I make like a Big Eye or like at times I can make Diabolus, but it's not very important. Like I said, this is at times. The one that everybody plays is the Scarecrow. Well, one of the best. It's a good way out Evermax if you ever put up against it. That's all the Kashtira monsters. I want to get into the 3 monster hand traps that I play, which is Ash. If Book of Eclipse or like anything rogue you go up against, Ash, it kind of does the work for you. Next of all is my spells. So this one is a bit controversial, but I get the whole point. Play 3 Kashtira Theosis. It's definitely the best card in deck. And if you don't have this in hand, literally you search it off Unicorn. And which, when you do, you normally have Birth or you have one or the other. So I'm definitely one of the best cards in the deck. If you want to know what to do further, I can go in detail later. Obviously, we're playing 3 Kashtira Birth. Again, that's the other spell that you search off Unicorn. It's one of the best cards Kashtira has. So, with Birth, you can't go wrong. The next three of you play is Planet. Obviously, you gotta have Planet. Like, Planet can win you games just flat out. And the pop effect is not very. It's great, but not that great. Like the only time you're trying to get this pop is if you're in like turn 3 and you're making Ira. I think that's really the only thing. But you're at turn 2 or 3, you're kind of limited on resources. Especially if you go all out on turn 1 to make a Rise Heart. This is kind of a mute point, but I do like how all monsters you control gain attack. So, next of all is 3 Pop Prosperity. So, if you don't have the wallet for this, you shouldn't be playing this deck anyway. But Cash Money is the name. Cash Money is the game. So you're going to want to play through Prospe. Prospe goes absolutely nuts in this deck. It's one of the only decks to where you literally have to play Prospe. Next, you play 3 Book of Eclipse. Of course, Medical. If you're not playing Eclipse, you're doing something wrong. My personal opinion. So, 3 Eclipse, very needed. Next of all is 2 Book of Moon. So I've ran against times like yesterday where Book of Moon really came up a lot. So, like I said, Book of Moon has been a great card. It still is a great card. So I would always play Book of Moon. It's really good in cash right now. So just keep that in mind that this is the card you definitely want to play these. Then we play 2 triple talent tactics. Like I don't play 3 because play 3 you see it too much, and it can also cause you to brick. So I always play it at 2. As you can see, we do have a lot of just random tech cards in here that will brick you, but with talents, you might get some payoff off of it. The one terraforming, of course, your 4th copy of planet. So like a 4 to 41 ratio, it's about a 13%. You're gonna see this card, so especially out of 5. That boosted up to like a 29% chance. I'm pretty sure opening hand. And then the one of you play, I play 1 dress. If I had Lance, I'd probably play Lance, but I do like how this one you just target a face-up monster, and it cannot be targeted or destroyed by card effects. So, very nice for that one. Then we'll get to the traps. So you're gonna play preparation, and your other Kashtira trap is gonna be Big Bang. Obviously, you can combo this off of whatever, but if you get Ogre, you might as well just search Big Bang, make a Rise Heart, and then like if your opponent starts throwing up a big board, just Big Bang. It's pretty simple. It's an evenly matched build in, so this deck it goes absolutely nuts. And then the last 2 cards we do play in this deck is going to be so with that, it's not really that big a deal, but I do like Imperm. It really does a lot for me. So with that being said, let's get into some extra deck, and I can really show you what we're cooking. So I believe I'm gonna start this off with the Link and the Storm monsters. We don't play very many of them, but we do play the good ones. So starting off, we will play Infinitrek Goliath. Obviously, you tax this to Rise Heart, cannot be destroyed by card effects. And that's where Prosby goes nuts, because you can attach face down banished cards and then become face up. Second card is Donner Dagger Furhire. Once playing this card, basically just a one for one. So you tribute this card, pop card. Pretty self-explanatory. Blackluster Soldier of Chaos. Just win more. It's kind of like my win more card of the extra deck. Just when you need it. And the last one is the Sovereign Supreme Changing. Goes hard with a Kashtira and Ash. Not hard to make. Kind of self-explanatory. Don't really have to talk about that a whole lot. But with these, I will have to talk a little bit on. So, of course, we're playing Dark Arm Dragon of Annihilation. It's a good pop, and if you need a Kashtira it'll do it for you. You just banish it from grave. Second of all is number 28 Titanic Moth. Really good for time. Plus, if this is the only card you control, it can punch directly. Then detach 1, inflict damage equal to the number of cards your opponent has in hand times 500. We got Big Eye. So I'm debating on running a second copy of this and cutting Diabolus the Mind Hacker. Because Big Eye is so good, and in a mirror match you just auto win with this card. I play 1 copy of the Divine Arsenal Zeus. Then my last 2 monsters in the extra deck are my Diabolus the Mind. So that rounds up every monster in the extra deck except for the Kashtira names. I know I just said that rounds up the extra deck, but not quite. So, without too much being said, we run to Ira. So, we can play the lockout game, but I don't do it a whole lot. I used to do it, but doing the whole locking thing like really hinders your gameplay, and you can't really pop off very much. So I try not to go Ira as much as possible. But if the opportunity arises and I see that I have certain cards and my opponent is running low, I will make double Ira, start locking out zones. Because if they don't have any zones to really play with or try to jump back in the game with, I ought to win. There's Ira, and then the last 3 cards of the extra deck, you could have guessed them. Kashtira Meta. We play 3 copies of Rise Heart. Number 1, it is a walking macrocosmos, which everyone already knows this. Second of all, every time a card is banished, it attaches to this material. That is a mandatory effect. That is not optional. And third of all, it does have a quick effect to detach 3, target a card on field, banish it face down. Doesn't matter if it's face up, face down, it does not care. All it cares is if it can target it, it's going to target it. And this is the card that has brought Dragoon back. Everyone's playing Dragoon now because they're afraid of this card. So if you can get this on and keep them from getting to Dragoon, you basically just win. That being said, we will get into the side deck. And I will talk probably for a bit because all this is pretty self-explanatory. So, if you've seen it by the thumbnail, 3 shifter. That's obvious. We don't play it main. It's not. This is a card that you really sight in when you're playing something rogue like Dark World. Yeah, Trap Tricks, which really isn't rogue right now. You'll play it against them. Not really branded. There were times to where if I'm facing a certain branded build, likes to use their graveyard with branded red, I'll throw in a shifter just so I can kill a card. But there's not a lot of times where shifter does a whole lot. So there, we do play 2 nib inside. Now, the reason I don't main deck these is I used to, but when you go Rise Heart Pass, that 2 back row almost every turn, there's no need to run these. Like, you're not going to tribute your Rise Heart just to keep your opponent at bay because a Rise Heart does the job for you. Just like I played a Mathematic player the other day. Won first game, lost second game, lost third game, all because of a Rise Heart. These are not necessary. So, keep that in mind, as the nibs are not necessary. Also, these are not necessary either, but these come hand in hand. So the 3 cross out designator. The reason we side these is if we play something like Labyrinth or literally anything that like Trap Tricks where it's necessary to lock out zones, we go for back row and we play the cross outs for the nib because more than likely they're siding nib or they've got nib in main deck. And if you can get the win off lap, it's not hard to do. All you gotta do is lock out the back row and you automatically win. So if you can do that, you just lock out that back row and it's done. That's literally all it takes to beat these top meta decks. Just gotta play smarter, not harder. If the win is there, don't try to like overextend your plays. You know, just go about your day. And if you play smart, you win. You don't have to do a lot with this deck. This deck pretty much seals the deal with a Rise. You do play 2 enemy controller inside. I cannot tell you how many times this card has come up where I literally tribute 1 filler monster or turn it into defense mode on battle cap, and literally draw into unicorn and go full combo. And typically, if there's no cards in hand, and I enemy controller and draw like Unicorn or Fenrir, I just go all in. Like there's no point not to. It just depends on what's on the other side, and if it's Dragoon, you can't target the damn thing anyway. So you're not really gonna be worried with enemy controller. So there's the enemy controller and the one of Change of Heart. So with Change of Heart, it is practically enemy controller is a third copy of Change of Heart. So like when you slide in, just go ahead and throw the Change of Heart in there. It's kind of free, where enemy controller you have to tribute a monster. But enemy controller, it has two different effects, and they're both really good. So practically the third Change of Heart. So the last spell we're using on the side is Harpy's Feather Duster. Obviously, you slide this in against all trap decks, and need by playing really strong back row. And for any out to anything that people are doing that will out Rise Heart, you play Solemn Judgment. That's literally your win con. Like literally, if you draw Solemn Judgment after you make a rise, you just auto win. Like it literally answers every question. It doesn't matter how low you get your life points. You can draw 3 of these. Go the planet, Unicorn, Theosis, Fenrir, Rise Heart into a Rise Heart, and it literally does not matter because this card will win you the game. It's that stupid. So I've got about, I'm gonna say 5 minutes to talk. So give me a second, and I'll switch the camera so you all can see. Not just the cards that are laying out in front of me. That way you can see my lovely face, because I know you all haven't seen me in a while, and I'll really discuss the deck with you. So just give me just a second. Alright, so I'm back, and nice to see you all. So, better yet, as I explain this, is first of all, I didn't put the win record in there, the win-loss ratio. So, the win-loss ratio I've had with this deck since it came out, and I've been playing it regionals, locals, about anywhere. I've tested this deck a shit ton, like literally, like non-stop with this stuff. This deck is just ridiculous. I've perfected the craft of the deck, and I've really got it down. So if you build a deck, spend the money into it, get it like this. What's most important for you to know as somebody coming into this deck has went 25-7 since 3 or 4 weeks ago. I've been keeping track of the win-loss totals. I write everything down on the notepad. That way I can learn matchups, learn my mistakes, learn where I can correct them, and do better plays. So with a 25-7 win percentage, that percentage of the wins that I've gotten have been 72%. You can look it up. You can the all you want. It is 72%. So with this deck right here, I win 72% of the time. That's exactly what that means. And the Rise Heart Pass, you probably hear a lot of people talking about it, but you don't really like see it. Like that is so damn good in this deck. Like it's absolutely busted. Let alone if you set an imperm or book. Like it's gonna be hard for you to play. Like you're gonna have to do a lot. Like you're not gonna get an easy win with this deck. This deck is insane. I'm just gonna go ahead and say it for the record. I've been gone so long. If you guys want combos on this deck and you want to learn how to play it, I can show you the one-way gate for literally everything you need to know. There's not a play in this deck that is complicated. The deck's pretty simple. I perfected it. I found the gate. One card that if you pull it, or multiple cards, I will do that. But one card if you pull it, if they do not ash, starts a big old chain. You can say by chain, like it's not really chaining, no, but the chain of cards it goes and gets is what I'm talking about when I say it's chain. So like literally if you get terraforming, you get the field spell, you get unicorn gets the Theosis. Don't already have it. Played at 3, that's why we played at 3. sometimes if you special summon Unicorn, you could actually bait Unicorn, get that Ash out, and go to Yosus. Like it's almost automatic because people see Unicorn and are like, okay, I need to stop this guy. So they'll end me most of the time because they don't want talents going off. But if that's their only play, they will Ash most of the time. Now a veteran Unicorn or a veteran Kashtira player like me knows better than to do that because I know all the interaction. I've played a lot of really good people here lately, and it has really taught me to really think about what I'm doing, when I'm doing it, and how I'm doing it. So with that being said, if if there's any questions you'll have about this deck, you put them down in the comments down below. Leave a like on the video, and if you're new, make sure you subscribe to the channel because that would help me out a lot. Because I'm trying to get back to doing my YouTube algorithm. I'm currently working. The only day I really can't upload because I go straight from work 5 to locals at 6 is Wednesday. So if on a Saturday I'll do an early upload, kind of get back into doing it. I've got to clean off my desk, or like I do a lot because you can probably see my mic here and stuff just scattered everywhere. Because I've been so much on grind building so many different decks. I've got Sword Soul built, I've got Kashtira built, and I've got new Branded built. So, these are all decks that I'd like to feature on the channel, really show you what they can do. But with Branded and Sword Soul, I'm kind of trying to wait and play them. It's kind of hard to play other decks when you have the best deck of the format at full power. Like it's really hard to play something else. And like I made somebody complain at my locals because I went a Rise Heart pass and they were playing zombies. I literally made them cry. Literally, they were running around the shop. It's unfair. You can't do things because I played one single card. I played a Rise Heart. That's literally all I done. I went a Rise Heart pass. Which when you go Rise Heart pass, it does have 3 materials, so the banish face down is live. And when you face something like zombies, it can't play because you have a macrocosm. Now I will say if I can get a hold of he's about like 14 whatever. He's a hero player and he's on the channel all the time, talking. I actually might get his deck profile on the channel because beat this deck with heroes. Phoenix Enforcer does a lot, and playing against a deck like this that throws on macro, hard for heroes to really play. And his new build is, I give him credit, it is damn good. I love that deck. I swear to God, like when he plays playing me against him, like it feels like I'm not even playing the best deck right now. Like that, and he's just a really good pilot. He's played heroes for years. Like it's just a deck that he never comes off of, and he wins sometimes, but then there's times in the format where he loses a lot, but he always comes back some way or another. But I'd really like to get his deck on the channel if I can. And again, this is starting the whole YouTube algorithm thing. We're gonna start featuring people on the channel, and really like broadening the horizon. I gotta get better equipment first of all. But I bought so many things here lately that literally I'm strapped on cash. So we will do the best we can. Thinking about doing the Master Duel videos again and starting that back up. But first, I got to get a deck that is not Blue Eyes, because that's literally the only deck I have on my PC. So I will literally have to grind and try to get all URs I can to make something, because I make branded every time. But I think I might make something like Sprite, or even I might prepare for tier when it comes out, because tier is going to be the top deck in Master Duel, and as all YouTubers know, if you don't know, I'm gonna go ahead and share it with you. Filament is coming to Master Duel. It is coming in today. I can tell you the exact date it comes out, or the hinted date. 20th. It comes out April 6th. Thursday, April 6th. That is roughly 2.5 weeks, roughly. So, if you hated playing tournaments in DCG, they are coming to Master Duel, I think, on April 6th. So just keep that in mind that tournaments are coming to Master Duel. They will be announced very shortly, and they will be put out as probably faster than Sprite was. So, literally, you're gonna have that to deal with. But also thought about rebooting Duel Links on the channel just to get some like Yu-Gi-Oh content out. It's not just constant like market watches, deck profiles, and Yu-Gi-Oh news. I need to get back to the Yu-Gi-Oh news because that was like one of my best segments I done. Even though like my deck profiles do get a lot of views, like it's not my number one thing. Now, um, I did do some polls because I was trying to get back into the whole YouTube thing, but my schedule got compacted. I couldn't do it. So with my new schedule, I should not have that issue. So, probably when I get off work tomorrow, I'll probably come here and clean off this desk where I can do like different camera angles, cleaning up this area so it doesn't look so bad. You can see, that way there is a Yu-Gi-Oh box, entire Yu-Gi-Oh box of I think it's Hidden Arsenal, right? Hidden Arsenal Chapter 1. I I bought a whole freaking case of it, and it is sitting there. I need to get the cards out of it, put it in the Megatins. They're literally right here. That way I can clean this place up. Trying to think if there's anything I'm leaving out, because we are going to eventually get better equipment so that we can video live stream Yu-Gi-Oh duels at locals. Now regionals probably not. Probably will not be able to get regionals because they're very but locals, my local card shop is pretty chill for the most part. We have a YouTuber down there as well, YGO Bazzano. And me and him get along very, very well. We play the two best decks of the format. He's on Brandon, and I'm on Kashtira. Very, very well. Genuinely don't have a problem with the guy. He is a great duelist, like hands down, great duelist. I just want to get to the point to where I am able to beat him. Like, that's my thing. That's my thing. Like, I would play different decks right now, but like where I'm like perfecting this craft, I don't want to play anything else. Plus, my deck is, some people call it toxic. I don't, because my cards are easily outed, and if they are not, they win me. It's not like a Rise Heart has the built-in protection like Ira does. I kind of wish the Rise Heart had the protection where like you can banish a card like and fill graveyard to protect itself, but it doesn't. Well, that makes it beatable. Unless if you got Infinite Goliath under it, then it's pretty much unbeatable. Unless if you Dragoon and negate and jump over it. Besides that, you're pretty much dead in the water. So again, I've had a minute to talk. So I'm gonna keep talking for a minute because like my main video, I'm gonna try to put the timestamp in there where you can see where exactly like the deck profile cuts off, or you can just watch it to that point and watch a little bit after, whatever you want to do. I do know that I did, again, put up some polls talking about what people would like to see, and we did have some people vote on two of the polls. One of them was, would you like to see the next best deck? And that one is kind of up in the air, but I can give you good, um, good guess. Again, this is depending on ban. Like, literally, if they hit Branded Fusion down, you can count Branded out. Or if they hit Oliver like 2, they hit opening to 1, like, that would kill the Branded strategy, like, a lot. And that's something the OCG hasn't already done. But I don't see Branded really being a problem. And Kashtira really isn't a problem. Because there are people that are finding ways to actually beat it. So I don't really see many decks getting hit on the ban list. The only thing I could guess out of my deck that would be hit by the ban list would be probably Fenrir. Because Fenrir is splashable in almost every deck. Fenrir can add a copy of itself, which is great, but it doesn't do a lot. Like, that's really the only card I could see. Maybe they hit Book of Eclipse, but I doubt it. So beatable. There's a lot of cards that are out now that, like, when Tyr was out, I knew Tyr needed to be hit. I knew. Like, this deck cannot go on. The barrier statue, win, cannot go on. Juan is literally so damn degenerate that when you take away barrier statue, Null now comes back. Like, they didn't miss anything. It didn't do a dent. Because I played Blue with Cash. I've lost Blue. Because literally it does not care. It does not care that I had a card banned. It doesn't matter, whatever's going on, because the deck will play on. It's like Kashtira, the deck will play on. We're hitting it in the next era of play. You will probably see Kashtira Meta Deck, Scareclaw Meta Deck. The archetypes just blend so well together, and they really don't care. They're just so good that it's rather insane, to say the least. It's crazy. So, while I have a minute, we will be discussing schedule. Why we're here. I'm gonna drag this out 7 more minutes because then my upload times will be set. So, I'm basically just going to explain the upload schedule. So when this video should air, depending on the upload time, which I'll see that after I make the video. I can't see that now because I'm currently making the video. So, let that shuffle a little bit like that. It will either go up about 10 or 12 tonight, or it will go up at 12 p.m. tomorrow. And if that's the case, then my next upload will be the next day at the same time. Keep it going. The only day where we'll miss is Tuesday. I'm not going to try to push to put 2 videos out in a day and save one for later and then be like, oh, well, I'll have this set for Wednesday, blah, blah, blah. No, we're not going to do that because I'm just not going to do that. Because, like, I'm not going to, like, push myself to death to get these videos out, but I will get them out at a reasonable pace, at a reasonable time. I'm not really going to go push to shove with trying to get my content out. I just want my content out one way or another, and if I'm doing 5 or 6 uploads a week, that is enough. So without further ado, I don't believe I missed any point. I believe I got everything out that I needed to get out, that I've been trying to get out for like, I don't know, like a month or two. I have my phone on me, so I can't see like when my last upload was. But yeah, you should see this pretty soon. So just whenever it is, I'll set it as a premiere. So really get all my subscribers together, really see this video, and really explain everything about the decks that I do currently have and that I am playing. Really go over my thought process with the decks. Obviously, Kashtira is obviously my best deck. I got my highest winning percentage. Um, Winning percentage of Kashtira actually blows Altergeist out of the water, and it hasn't even been out that long. So, without further ado, if you're new to the channel, make sure you like, subscribe, and comment down below. If you're not new to the channel, you should like and comment anyway, because I got 257 subs, so I've added probably 7 since I've been gone. So make sure that you do leave me a comment. Let me know your thought process, so I know exactly what people are thinking. Oh, also Wednesday of this week, which 2 days, we are doing a Rogue Locals, and I am playing a very fun deck, and I will let you know what that deck is on Thursday, I assume, and how I did with it, because we're not playing no meta decks at all. They're all going to be Rogue. So far, we have heard like Magical Musketeers, like I believe like Melfi Tri Brigade, and some other decks like that. So it's like nothing that's too far out of meta, but they are real decks nonetheless. So again, new, make sure you like, subscribe, comment down below. If you're not new, make sure you like, comment down below. Comment, I can really see like what you're thinking, and it really like helps me out as a creator, and I will respond back to you as about as fast as I can, unless if I'm like in a dead sleep. So like I will get back to you. You are important to me because I'm the content creator, and I want to like show you guys what is the best strategy in Yu-Gi-Oh, because there's literally nobody that probably knows more than I do. Especially when it comes to playing good decks and playing really good tech cards for really good purposes. But without further ado, I'm gonna go ahead and sign off. I'm Pierce Nation, and I will see you in the next video. Nation.